All right, so now we're going to look at implementing and administering Active Directory Federation services. So these topics we're going to look at. So first thing we're going to look at um, what is the importance of this Active Directory Federation services. So we're going to draw another picture. Actually, just save this information. I think this is ADCS. Okay. Now let's say Active Directory Federation services. What is the requirements? For example, our company, we have like one of the Active Directory domain services, and we got some like uh, some client. So this is our Active Directory domain services, ADDS, and this is PC1.
How can I help?
Oops, that's a mobile phone, but yeah, put that one. Now PC2. So these two PC, and we have Active Directory domain services. So this domain services managing this PC, or you may have some other servers in your network. Maybe you have some other application servers. That will be connected. Application servers, right? So now Active Directory domain services, or in our servers environment, we have the boundary. We always have the boundary. This is our boundary. So everything is happening in this boundary. Like whatever you like, authentications, permissions, everything will be inside this boundary. But if somebody want to access, for example, another computer which is outside, this is a user, a different user is outside. So this user want to access some resources, these applications inside your network. So either you need some remote access. So what is Active Directory Federation Services does? It's the provide access inside to your domain. How it works? Let me draw this one, then I'll show you. ADFS. So this is your Active Directory Federation Services. This is your ADFS server. So what it does? So let's say you have a user in here called Bob. So Bob want to access, Bob is inside. So when Bob is inside, Bob is accessing this PC, accessing this servers, no problem. But when Bob is going outside, like if Bob is going outside, your network will not know anything about Bob. So that period of time, what is Active Directory Federation Services is does? It's actually with the Bob same username and password, it's provide access to your network. So that means when Bob is outside, now Bob is outside. But Bob has a username, bob at abc.local, kind of like that. So this is Bob's address. So with that username, even Bob is outside, Bob will be able to access the resources inside your organizations in a trusted way. So that's the ADFS. Now, and that's the ADFS. So ADFS provide two important informations. One is single sign-on features, and another one is authentication. This is the two important things is provide. One is single sign-on features, one is authentication. Authentication means um, this person, even this person is outside your network, but still the person will be able to logged in via ADFS and same username and password which this person use inside the company. If this person go outside, same username and password can be used. That's the authentications. And single sign-on means many different organizations they have like multiple cloud services. For example, applications. This is one provider, this is another provider, this is another provider. Maybe this is like, for example, one this one may be one of the applications, application one. Then maybe this is application two, maybe this is application 3, like that. But each of the applications, they have a different provider, right? Someone may be Google, someone may be Facebook, someone is a LinkedIn, or some other applications. So every applications, they have their own username and password, right?
Yeah.
So in this scenario, a user from your network, if they want to access the applications, they have to put a separate username and password. But this one is one kind of username, this one is another kind of username, this one is another kind of username. So it's very difficult when you work for a company, and if you have a 15-20 different kind of applications every day you have to use and put all username and password, all username and password, and frequently if you need to change all the password after a certain time, so that's not very simple. For that purposes, what happened, Active Directory Federation service, it's actually provides single sign-on features. This is kind of single sign-on feature. Single sign-on features, what it does, it's actually all the applications will be linked with that portal. It's kind of like a portal. So all the applications will be linked with this single sign-on features, and this one will be linked with your ADFS. So
Idiot.
from the ADFS, you can create this one. So in this way, what happened? Still, Bob need to maintain one username and password, and with that, Bob can access the other applications. That is the benefit. You got it pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, please, again, the application connection, like
So
অ্যাপ্লিকেশনের কানেকশনের সাথে যেটা করলেন এটা আগে না
okay.
explain.
So let's say each of the application is outside, right?
Yeah,
And each of the applications is a cloud-based application. So this is they're a different provider, like a Google, Microsoft, Salesforce. Those people, they have a different applications. So different applications, they will have a different username, right? Different
yeah,
password. And our benefits of having Active Directory Federation services, if you have a Active Directory domain services, and if you create a user called bob at abc.local, then what will happen, Bob, with that same username and password, this user will be able to access multiple applications. That is the benefit of Active Directory Federation services. So two things you can do. One is single sign-on features you can offer, and another things you can provide authentication. So this is the two benefits we have from Active Directory domain services uh, and Active Directory Federation services.
yep, now I understand.
Cool, excellent. Now let's have a look how we can implement this one. So at a minimum, what we'll do, we're going to look at how to configure the Active Directory Federation services. Let's go back to our servers, DC4, logged in. Oops. So this is our servers. We're going to, first thing, we need to add this role, right? Manage, add roles and features. We click next, next,
Bob outside.
next, and we're going to select Active Directory Federation services. This one. Click next, 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 and install. So you're going to install the Active Directory Federation services. So while it's installing, let's go back to our like topics, and let's have a look a few things from there. So we're going to talk about Active Directory Federation services, the planning and deployment and configurations, that part. We're going to talk about the identity federations, claim-based identity, overview of web services, and how it can be applied to any organization. It could be single organization or it could be business to business federation. Now, what are the claim-based identity and claim-based authentications? So claim provider informations about the users. The user's identity provider supplies informations that the application provider accepts. For example, this is the identity provider. Identity provider, it's like a Active Directory Federation service, Active Directory certificate services. They are the identity provider. So these people, they actually provide the authentications. This is the application provider. So this one provide authentications, and this application servers will trust that applications. So that's how it works. So what is ADFS? So ADFS is the Microsoft Identity Federation's product, and that can use claim-based authentication. ADFS has the following features: single sign-on for web-based applications, interoperability with web services on multiple platforms, support for many clients such as web browser, mobile devices, and applications, extensibility to support customized claims from third-party applications, the delegations of account management to the user's organization. These are the services provided by the Active Directory Federation services. So there are like new features from Server 2012 and also Server 2016. There are some new add-ons or new features has been added. Now, for example, this is one client, external client, and this is your company corporate network. You have Active Directory domain services, and you have like federation services. You have federation service proxy, and this is web server. So this person want to access web server, right?
Yeah.
So web servers request this client about authentications. So it will be direct to the federation proxy. Proxy will refer to the federation servers. So proxy servers, this is accessible from outside, but the federation servers, it will be inside the private network. And federation servers will contact with Active Directory domain services. It will get the name and other details, and it will provide to this external client. Then the external client will be able to access this web server. So these proxy servers and federation servers, it's work as like a intermediary device which actually manage the authentication part. So this client, if this client is if we put in a simple way, if this client is registered inside your Active Directory domain services, federation services help this client to access the web servers when this client is outside your network,
Yeah.
right? Another example, this is Fay Research. This is one of the company, and this side A Datum, this is another company, right? So A Datum corporations, they have web server, and Trade Research ADDS, they have their internal client computer. So this client want to access the web server. Web servers will return and contact back to the client, and then this client actually directed to the Active Directory Federation servers. Federation servers will ask to provide the client identity. So it will go back to the Active Directory Federation service and provide the informations, and then this information will be trusted by federations, Eratum Corporation Federation servers, and then it will say, okay, you can log in. Then this person will be able to log in. There are like 11 steps is going on in here. So how it works? This is one company, and this
Yeah.
is another company. So this company have a federated trust. they trust each other. So this client will be able to access this web server. But how this trust works, that is actually happening by the two companies need to have a federation servers and they need to trust each other. So those things we need to configure. So federation servers is one of the important component in many businesses these days. In this way, it's all about security, all about extra layer of security they are providing. So ADFS components, requirements, certificates, those things we're going to look at now. So now let's go back to our configurations steps. Yes, so I think it should be fine. Close this one, yellow triangle, configure the federation service to the servers, right? We click on this one. Click next. Next. So we actually need a certificate in here. So this certificate in a real life scenario, we need to import, we need to purchase the certificate from third party because this certificate will be exposed outside the company. But at this stage, we don't have any certificate. But because we install the Active Directory certificate services in this computer, we'll have this certificate. What we have to do, just restart the computers and after that, hopefully we'll get the certificate. So right click on this one, restart the computer. Planned, continue. Once we restart, after that, we'll be able to see that certificate is there. It's that certificate came from Active Directory certificate services from that. Now it's restarting. It's coming up. So ADFS components, so what we have in Active Directory Federation services. So one company, once they configure the Active Directory Federation services, they need to have a Federation server, they need to have a Federation server proxy and web application proxy, claims, claim rules, attribute store, claims provider. So they need to have all these stuffs. Relying parties, claim provider trust, relying party trust, certificates, endpoints. So this is like a component. Once we install the Active Directory Federation services, all these components will be there. So claim provider trust is like your company and relying party trust means this is from the other company. So when you configure this kind of services, both company, administrator, network admin or system admin, they need to communicate with each other. And then after that, they need to establish the trust relationship in between two companies' Active Directory Federation services. Let's go back and check. Yes, missions is pretty good. Okay. Hopefully we'll have the certificate now. So once this startup is settled down, then we're going to go to this flag window. Configure the federation service on this servers. We click on this one. Click next. Next. Look at that certificate, right?
Yep.
because this certificate how we got, because we install the active directory certificate servers in these servers. That's why this domain name is associated with the certificate. So that's the way we actually get the automatic certificate services. This is kind of like a private SSL certificate. This is only for the internal purposes we'll be able to use. We have to put Federation's service display name. We're going to put like ADFS. This is one of the name we put over there. Then click next. And use an existing domain user account group certificate. In our case, yes, we're going to use our own information. So we're going to click on ADFS, click check name. Oh, sorry, not ADFS, administrator. This is our username. Click OK. Password, we're going to put our default password. Click next. Click next. And we're going to use the Windows internal database for this Active Directory Federation services. And click next. Check one or please, the service account credentials could not be verified. The service account credentials could not be verified. Prerequisites. Let's go back. Is authentication issues. Use an existing domain user account. Click next. Maybe the password. Yeah, password was incorrect, but now we put the administrator password. Now is working. Click configure. So this is the summary is coming up, but now it will configure. And this computer, yeah, it's good to have a restart, but even if you don't restart, I think it should be fine. Now we'll give this one a bit of time and we'll be back in here. Now let's go back what we have. So what we actually required: Active Directory Federation service requirements. A successful ADFS deployment include TCP/IP network connectivity, Active Directory domain services, attribute stores, and DNS. So this is any network will have like IP communications, and then Active Directory domain services. This is the core component we need to have inside our network. Attribute stores. That's where all the authentications and all the associate informations related with authentications will be stored over there. And DNS, which is a very important component. DNS servers we required as well. So this is all this stuff will be there. There are some other like certificate requirements. Then this is another example. Let's have a look this example. This is another example the why we need this Active Directory certificate services, federation services. For example, this is on premises. You have the Active Directory domain services, you have the account federation servers, and you have the internal client computers. And this side you have Exchange Online, Microsoft Online Services Federation servers, Microsoft Outlook web application servers. So this is the web application servers. So this client want to access that Outlook applications, and these applications will return them asking like who is the user, what is the user identity. So it will go back to the servers could not find any identity, so it will ask, it will go back to its own Active Directory domain services and get the identity. and provide the identity to the Active Directory Federation servers, and Federation servers will verify, and once it is correct, then it will provide access to their applications. Normally when you put a username and password, it takes a bit of time, and in on that time it's actually do this kind of like um, authentications process. So pretty much that's the discussions. We have looked at the installation part, how to install this one. Now let's have a look what we have inside the Active Directory Federation services. Yep, it's done. Click close, go to tools, Active Directory Federation services. If we expand this one, Activity Store, which will be your Active Directory domain services, certificate, it will create authentication method, claim descriptions, device registrations, and some policy automatically will be there. Claim provider trust. Claim provider is like, our company, that is the claim provider. We have the Active Directory domain services. And relying party trust, this is like when you establish the trust relationship with other companies. So in here we need to put the relying parties informations. So relying party informations means they are like, claim aware. You need to provide their host names or URL. That's mostly it is looks like that. Some web applications URL or API you need to put in here. So Federation services, um, there are this is the installation part from the server side, where there are many other configurations need to be done. The other party, they need to do the configurations. They need to have a web-based URL as well, which you can put in here to establish the authentications or trust. So this is the place you need the informations from the other company, which they need to provide. And for that, the application provider or developer is also required on their side. So that's the only thing we need, the relying party trust, which will be provided by the other companies. Claim provider trust, which is ourselves. This is Active Directory is the claim provider trust. Application group, like which applications you want to provide access from outside, you can configure these things as well. So this is pretty much the installations and configurations of Active Directory Federation services in one side or one servers or one site. So as I said, other side it need to be configured as well, and for that you need a URL, and a developer need to be get involved in here as well. So that's pretty much the discussions about Active Directory Federation services. So minimize this one. Okay.